good noon roll. It's 11 o'clock, coming to 12. I'm really tired. Yeah, I just woke up. Yeah. I had a good sleep. Yeah. I just woke up, man. Yeah. 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 Hope you guys enjoyed my show I made yesterday. Yeah, I was sick. I know. I talked about my books, Dennis. Yesterday at nighttime, I went over volume 3. The Unexpected Journey. When I read it, I was hooked, man. My book is fucking sick. Yeah. And it's like volume 3 is my favorite, obviously. What book is the most raw, Ivan? You can argue volume 3 is the most raw. In terms of the flow of the dialogue, volume 3 might be the most raw. You can argue, but yeah. But in my opinion, it's my favorite one. It's the most interesting one because that's where you get the big climaxes. A lot of people will like volume 2 better because volume 2 you can argue has more of the hook. You can argue with volume 3, you can also argue has more of the hook. I like volume 3 the best. Volume 3 is my favorite. Yeah. You'll see what I mean why I like volume 3 the best when you read it, right? You get the shocking plot twist when you read volume 3. With Tactius, Aratat, all that stuff, yeah. That's why it's my favorite. That's why it's my favorite. Got paid today at Go Fruity. I wonder how much I got back. I probably got like $600. I could Go Fruity, right? $580, $600 maybe I got paid. Yeah. Your book really is a masterpiece. Yeah, man. I showed you some of my book. You guys impressed? Yeah, you were. Yeah, you look sick. I mean, yeah. You look sick, and the characters constantly jump on the page. It's a masterpiece, my book, man. Yeah, man. It's a masterpiece. Well, fans like the most. Fans are either going to like Volume 2 the best or Volume 3. But some fans might like Volume 1 the best, right? It just depends on their taste. But some fans might even think Volume 3 is the worst. Because you can argue Volume 3 is the most raw in terms of my writing, the flow of the dialogue. You can argue Volume 3 is the most raw. Well, no, I mean, it's good too. But Volume 3 has the bigger climaxes and the plot twist. That's why it's my favorite. But you could argue Volume 2 is better, obviously, because you know what I'm saying? You could argue, obviously, it's better, but it just depends on how the art hits you. Just depends on how the art hits you, right? So, my personal favorite is Volume 3, because Volume 3 is when the story gets deep. You get the big plot twist with Tactius and everything, and it gets deep. It's a dark episode of Tactius' life. Because Tactius is facing the devil himself. You see, I mean, look, I almost full story for you. Yeah. 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 My book is a masterpiece, yeah, man. Entertaining masterpiece, yeah. That's why Volume 2 is my favorite, because Volume 2 you get the big plot twist, obviously. You could argue Volume 2 is better if you want, but it just depends on how the art hits you, right? But yeah. People would tell me, yeah, Ivan, Volume 3 will be the best, Ivan, because that's when the story gets deep and dark, and you get the huge plot twist with the tactics and all them. Hence why, yeah. Whereas Volume 2 is just drama and politics, and Volume 3 is a life behind the walls and Zanes, and Tactics leaves the walls and they look for tactics. That's pretty much Volume 1, but I mean, some people I like Volume 1 the best. Yeah, it just depends on how the art hits you, right? But for me personally, Volume 1's the worst. And Volume 2's second worst, and then Volume 3 is the best, obviously. For me, it goes 3, 2, 1. Those are the volume right now. See what I'm saying? Yeah. 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 But how do you do it, man? Every time you show us snippets of your book, you're always what? We're always entertaining. Yeah, I know, because I have the gift, I have the creative gift. God gave me the handling gift. That's why my book is so entertaining. It's the most entertaining read of your lifetime, man. It's a masterpiece, my book. So I have the heavenly gift. This is a masterpiece, yeah, man. Ivan, show us more of your book. No, man, I don't want to spoil the story for you. I'm not showing you more of my book. You'll see what I mean when you read it. I don't want to spoil the story for you, man. I wrote a masterpiece. Yeah, man. A masterpiece. That's why the gays won't enjoy your battle, I mean, because they know you wrote an amazing book, but zero, man. Money off the books for me, VJ's not, you're not touching my money. You won't let me touch your money, you're not touching my money either. That's how it works. There we go. That's how it works, right? Yeah. Yeah. So that's why you're not showing Volume 3. Yeah, Volume 3 is when the story gets deep and you get the big plot to it. That's why I don't want to spoil the story for you. Finally, when you read Volume 3, I don't want to spoil the story for you. That's why I didn't show you Volume 3. Otherwise, I'd be spoiling the story for you, and I don't want to spoil the story for you. And you'll see what I mean when you read the book, guys. I don't want to spoil the story for you. So I wrote a masterpiece. That's fine, it's overrated, yeah. The only criticism people will give my book, it's a little raw. Like some of Ivan's writing is a little raw. He could have used better choice of words. Some of his dialogue, the way it flows, it's a little raw, obviously, as you guys caught when you read it, but it's still entertaining, and you're hooked, and you're turning the pages. A masterpiece, man. Because I have no editor, I did everything myself. Because even the greatest storytellers need editors when they write their book, right? Yeah, that's why my book's been raw, but it's more entertaining. Did those authors keep you hooked with Ivan? No, they didn't. Your book was more entertaining, Ivan. Yes. My book is a more entertaining read when you read it, as I showed you guys, right? You guys were hooked when you read it, right? Yeah, and also, yes. My whole book is like that. It's constant entertainment. You're constantly on the edge of your seat, hooked. Honestly. Especially when you read volume 3, you're going to be like, holy, I read like a good chunk of Unexpected Journey yesterday at night before I went to bed, and I was hooked. I kept reading it, man. Like, this is fucking sick, man. It's fucking sick. Yeah, it's a sick book. It's sick, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's a sick book. My book. It's a masterpiece. Yeah. But, yeah, but I don't get it, man. Like, these other authors, they write dialogue, and when they write dialogue, their characters don't really jump on the page. When you write it, they come alive. They always jump on the page out because I'm a creative genius. I have to have the characters. My characters are amazing. I have amazing characters in my book. Yeah. Yeah. So watch out for the haters, Ivan. Now, I liked Ivan's book, but Ivan's book was a bit raw when I read it. Yeah, but you're just hating on me because you're jealous, man. Like, be honest. Like, did those authors entertain you more the way I did? No, Ivan. Your book was more entertaining. Yeah, my book was more entertaining to read. You can hate on my rawness all you want. Ivan's was a bit raw when you read it. There's some sections of volume 2, volume 1, volume 3 when you read it, it's a bit raw with the dialogue and everything, but it's still entertaining. You're still hooked. You kept turning the page. No author entertained the way I did. Because I have the gift that those guys will have, right? Obviously, right? Yeah. That's why I guarantee you, all the big book publishing companies and the famous authors, like, holy shit, man, Ivan, you're fucking gifted, man. Come work for us. Yeah, all the book publishing houses like Penguin Random House, Macmillan, Simon and Schuster, Scholastics. I'm saying, oh, I wish Ivan can come work for us. He's fucking gifted, man. Yeah, I'm gifted. You can write an amazing novel. Yeah, I can write an amazing novel. But to traditionally publish, I have to sell out. And why the fuck would I have those guys take my money when they're only making that money because of my keys and they're duping me? Yeah, I don't need their help. I can open them myself. I have the keys. I'm self-publishing things. I'm not traditionally published. The traditional publishers have to sell to the gates. The traditional publishing is public eye fame. Like, you get interviewed on a Jimmy Fallon show. They sell your books at bookstores. Where self-publishing, it's online. You sell your book online on Amazon or Lulu or your own website. That's where you sell your book, obviously. So, self-publishing is online. Yeah. Yeah. No, sister, are you bluffing, man? Did you really write what you showed us? Yes, guys, I wrote it. I'm not lying to you guys. I wrote that. I'm not lying to you guys. I actually wrote it. I wrote a masterpiece. I wrote it, yeah, man. I'm not lying to you. I wrote it, guys. I wrote it, sir. Yeah. Your book is sick on it. I know. The whole thing, you're hooked. It's a masterpiece. Yeah. You read it and you're hooked. I know. I wrote a masterpiece, man. An amazing story. Yeah, man. I wrote a masterpiece. Yeah, man. A masterpiece. Yeah. That's why the gays won't come my brand. Yeah, I wrote a fucking masterpiece. His novel's the best fantasy novel written, and the world's gonna love his book. It's gonna be more popular than Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings. Yes. Like, we want to control his brand. Yeah, but you're not touching our money, man. You won't let me touch your money. My money off the book is mine. You're not touching it, zero. It's my money, not yours. You might tell me, Ivan, the money off your brand, your Zane's brand belongs to us. I'm like, no, it doesn't. You didn't write it. Yeah, but Ivan, we're the gatekeepers. Like, everything in the world we control. I know, but you're not God. You didn't carry these ways. You don't deserve to control my money. You have to tell them now. I know when they don't. Yeah. The 10 billion off the book is for me and my wife, EJ. It's not for you. You're just a greedy pig, man. And VJ's crying, oh, Ivan, please don't sell, man. I'm trash. Yeah, she's scared. I might chicken out and sell out. But I'm brave and I say no. I don't bow to the gates. And I choose the other choice. I know I made the right choice. All I gotta do is wake up 1 minute later. I get it over with, man. The day happens, I'll be trying and everything. I have mental issues, and then my father gives me peace. I have no worry about it. You're gonna come back to life. And I wake up 1 minute later, and I get over it. I get VJ fresh myself, and I control the Zane's brand. The gates will touch my money. I make out on my 10.5 billion off the book. He's like, how's much money off your book, by the way? I made $10,500, sweetie. She's like, holy shit, that's a lot of money. $10.5 million. I'm like, yeah. Ivan, you made the right choice. Thank God you didn't sell the gates. Our life would have been destroyed. I know. Our life would have been destroyed, sweetie. Yeah, it would have been destroyed, man. Yeah. Some Sarah? Yeah. That's why VJ cries. Yeah, VJ knows she got duped by the gates. She wants to be with me, and she wants to see the light, obviously. She wants a piece of my blades, too, obviously. VJ has career goals, too, man. Like, she wants to be a successful actor, you know what I'm saying, making the billions with me. She doesn't want to be in Hollywood doing these shitty movies, making like her 500K, 400K. She wants to sign that mega deal with Amazon with me for the Zane's movie contract, for the merchandise, for the game. She wants to be successful A-list actor with me. That's why she cries. She wants me to get out of Hollywood. She wants a piece of my billions, obviously. She wants her freedom and financial control with me. And once I say VJ now has the financial control with me. We control our own money because VJ has the keys like me too. We both have our financial control. We signed that mega deal with Amazon for the Zane's movie, the Amazing Zane's movie. I'm sorry, yeah. She has goals. That's why she cries. That's why she's crazy. Yeah, man, she's a crazy woman. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, now I understand why the gates were shocked when they read your book. Yeah, when the gatekeepers hacked my laptop and they read my book, they were shocked. Holy shit, man! Ivan's book's a fucking masterpiece, man. Every volume contains his story so powerful and deep. That's a fucking masterpiece, man. Yeah, they know it's a book worth billions. It's the best fact novel written. That's why they wanted to touch my mouth. You're not touching my money, man. Zero. You won't let me touch your money. You're not touching my money. That's how it works. There you go. Everyone I applied to that monthly job, I didn't get those hours. They just would suck my dick. You're not touching my money. Yeah, you're not touching my money either, man. You won't let me make money in this world and touch your money. You're not touching my money either. That's how it works. It's my money. It's not yours. You're not touching it. There you go. I'm not gonna let you take my money when you have all those trillions in your bank. Are you fucking crazy, man? No, man. Not what you put with your life, man. The billions out of the books for me, it's just not for you. You're not touching my money. That's how it works, right? Yeah, I'm not gonna let the kids do it. No, wait, man. The Xana's brand is my money. It's not yours. You're not touching it, man. You won't let me touch your money. You're not touching my money either. That's how it works. And you don't deserve to control my money. You didn't create this place yet. There you go. You have to be bold with the gatekeepers, man. God gave you the keys, Ivan. You don't have to sell to them. Do not let the gatekeepers dupe you. So I'm saying they're reprobate. They're never gonna let you be a billionaire. Blinded by their every degree. They're crazy people. You sell to them, they're gonna destroy your life and they're gonna steal all your money and give you the peanuts. Because they're crazy people, obviously. That's why they trapped me with that to hopefully scare me into selling. And I'm like, fuck, man. I end up choosing the other choice. I'm not gonna let the fucking gate do like that, man. No fucking way, man. No way. I'm saying, huh? Yeah. Obviously. So once you pay the fee, you're gonna run off of VJ. Yeah, once I pay the fee, I take my money and I run. I get the fuck out. I got the fuck out of the cursed place, obviously, and I run away with VJ, obviously. So when I find out how dirty the gatekeepers really are and how wicked they really are, they're devils. All I'm thinking about is just getting this over with and taking my money, taking my wife, and I'm piecing the fuck out, man. Yeah, man. When I pay the fee, obviously. Yeah. That's why VJ's running on me, because VJ will find out how dirty and wicked her family is when I pay the fee too. Their true nature will come out, obviously. That's why VJ wants to pay the fee. She takes her things and she runs away with me, obviously, because everyone in her life will turn on her, obviously. When you think you can have that man all to yourself and all that stuff, and their friends and her sister and everything, her mother, they all turn on her. You think you can have life and all to yourself, VJ? Tell her that, yeah, their true nature comes out. She's like, yes, he's my husband. He's not your husband, yeah. I'm VJ's husband, obviously, and VJ deserves to have me all to herself, obviously. Yeah. Yeah. These are Ivan, I love your book. Your book is entertaining. I know my book is sick, man. It's a masterpiece. Best man's overwritten, man. Yeah, man. So fucking masterpiece, my book. Best fans overwritten, yeah, man. Masterpiece. Yeah. Yeah. Ivan, please be an author when you're king. Look, man, I like writing books, but my dream is not being an author. Is to be. I want to be a movie star, VJ. I don't want to be an author, man. Being an author is fun, but like it's not my dream. I only wrote Zane because I had no choice. The gatekeepers locked everything on me, hence why I wrote the last over Zane's book. But like once I make that money and I experience the fame as a successful author, I'm gonna start Skies from Thane with VJ, and George Lucas will help us obviously, and I'm gonna make the Zane's movie. Samsara. Yeah. Obviously. George, Ivan, you're adapting your book. I'm like, yeah, dude, holy shit, Ivan, you wrote a masterpiece, man. That was an amazing story, Ivan. That's better than my Star Wars, I know. I know, George. You wrote a masterpiece, Ivan. Yeah, you're adapting that story. I'm like, yeah, George. He's like, holy shit. Yeah, you're looking at an amazing movie. Yeah, you're looking at an amazing movie. Once I adapt the movie, looking at a masterpiece, man. A fucking masterpiece, yeah, man. A masterpiece. Yeah. He's alright, this is where Lord of the Rings are. I hope he's wearing Lord of the Rings. It's a fucking masterpiece, man. This is where Lord of the Rings are. I hope he's wearing Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings. Yeah, I enjoyed your book more than Jared told us Lord of the Rings. I know it's better than Lord of the Rings, man. I showed you guys sections of my book, and my book is more entertaining read when you read it compared to Lord of the Rings. It's more entertaining. It's a masterpiece, my book, man. Amazing book, man. Yeah, man. It's a masterpiece, my book. Yeah. Yeah. My book is a masterpiece. Yeah, man. Are you bluffing? Is your whole book entertaining? That guys, yes, guys, I'm not lying to you. Every volume you read, you're hooked. Volume 3, you're hooked. Volume 2, you're hooked. Volume 1, you're hooked. It's all entertaining. Some sections of my book is a bit raw when you read it, like some of the dialogue and everything. Some of the flow of the dialogue is a little raw, but still entertaining enough to keep you turning the page. It's a masterpiece, my book, man. It's a fucking masterpiece, yeah, man. You'll see what I mean my book. It's amazing. I binged a good chunk of Unexpected Journey yesterday, and I was fucking hooked. I kept reading, man. It's interesting, my book, man. It's a masterpiece. Yeah, man. It's an amazing story. Yeah. My book is a masterpiece, yeah, man. Masterpiece. So when you release your book, it'll be a public embarrassment. Yeah. When I release my book on Lulu, it'll be a public embarrassment in the entertainment industry because no author kept the reader hooked the way Ivan did. And Ivan's story is so entertaining. And it's a fucking masterpiece of a story. You can't top the Zane's story. It's a fucking masterpiece when you read it, man. Amazing story. Yeah, that's why it's gonna be crowned as the best fantasy novel written in my book. Looking at a masterpiece, yeah, man. Masterpiece. So the Southerners can't believe Tacitus is a Prince of Zanus? No, because the Northerners never come to the South. That's why they can't believe Tacitus is a Prince of Zanus. He took on a fake identity, and when he claimed to be the Prince of Zanus, they said, "We don't believe what you're saying is true. Seize this man, throw him in a dungeon." Obviously, that's why Cassius had to convince Eli to release him, to release Tacitus. We see what I mean. Look, I won't spoil the story for you. Like, what the fuck would the prince from the Northern Kingdom with all that great wealth and status, what the fuck is that guy doing in the cell? Because in order to ever come to the cell, they fear the wolves. That's why Eli doesn't believe Taki's different than Zane's, and he sees him thrown in a dungeon. They just can't believe it. That's why they constantly say that cannot be, that cannot be. You'll see that when you read the book. They all say that cannot be all the time, right? Yeah, because they can't believe it. They're shocked, yeah. That's why I wrote a masterpiece. My book is amazing, yeah. I wrote a masterpiece, yeah, man. Really, Ivan, yeah, man, I wrote a masterpiece. My book is sick. Really, Ivan, I love your book. I know, sweetie, my book is sick, man. It's a masterpiece, man. Well, I'm not showing you guys anymore. I won't spoil the story for you, man. You'll see him when you read the book. I won't spoil the story for you, Sarah. So the Southerners don't believe Taki's a Prince of Zane's. No, they don't believe he's a Prince of Zane's. But Cassius obviously convinces Eli obviously to release him obviously. But in Volume 3, that the Southerners grow to have more faith in Taki's obviously. But at first they don't believe he's a Prince of Zane's. And later on in Volume 3, they now have a bit more. They have more faith in Taki's obviously. So when I read the book, Taki tells Lithia, "You have great faith," because Lithia constantly believes whatever Taki says is true. He tells her, "You have great faith," Lithia. He tells her that when you read Volume 3, right? Yeah. That's why I wrote a masterpiece, yeah. 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 Like, you're crazy, man. You think Zane's will be better than Star Wars and Lord of the Rings? Well, I showed you guys sneak peeks of my book, and you guys were hooked and entertained. The story looks so interesting. Yeah, man. You're looking at a better movie trilogy than even George Lucas's Star Wars originals. And the George Lucas Star Wars originals are fucking masterpieces, man. But Return of the Jedi, for me, is not that good. I don't like Return of the Jedi that much. I only like Empire and Star Wars, or A New Hope. They call it A New Hope now, but back then it was Star Wars. I only like Star Wars and Empire, whereas Return of the Jedi, I don't like that much. It wasn't that good of a movie. Zane's will be a better movie. George would tell me, yeah, Ivan, your book is even better than my Star Wars originals. You wrote a fucking masterpiece. Yeah, it's better than even George Lucas Star Wars originals. It's better than its prequels, obviously. I like the prequels, but the prequels are not as good as the originals, obviously. And yeah, it'll be better than all those. Lord of the Rings will be. People have been talking about, you're looking at a better movie trilogy, my Lord of the Rings. Yeah, better movie trilogy in his Lord of the Rings. Looking at a masterpiece, man. Amazing story. My book is a masterpiece, yeah, no. So sorry. John Megas, your book is sick, man. I know, my book is sick, John. I would say, I know. My book is sick, I know. It's a sick book. Yeah. That's why you need to give Peter Jackson and Mel Gibson an unlimited budget. I'm going to make Zane's for $2 million. That way you give Peter Jackson an unlimited budget, or Mel Gibson for your movie. So $66 million is going towards each of my volumes. That's why looking at a beautiful world. I showed you guys my idea for my world. Obviously, a beautiful world for the north. In the south is cursed, and you have amazing action battle scenes. And the wolves and the bats are walking devils and demons. See, in the book, they're not that scary because it's a book, obviously. But once I adapt it to the screen, you're looking at devils, man, like devils on the screen. That's why looking at a master that I wrote, man. Yeah, man. Amazing book. Are the wolves and bats friends? No, they're not the bestest of friends, but they hate the humans, obviously. Aratat says, when you read the book, obviously, he says those mountains are cursed. Never go there. The bats are not our friends. Obviously, the bats are not really the best. They're not the best of friends with the wolves. They have their own territory. Yeah. Let me read the book. I won't spoil the story for you, Sarah. Yeah. So what happens in Volume 3? Well, I won't spoil. I already told you guys, right? Pretty much, all I'm going to say is when Aratat and his army arrive to Safi, Aratat says stop. He says something doesn't feel right. And they march into the city and they find out the city's empty. And Aratat's all pissed off. He arrives to Eli's house and he goes crazy. He takes like chairs, he takes the jugs of ale, he throws it down, he's all pissed off. You know what I'm saying? All I'm gonna say, the wolves are like, there's no trace of human flesh in Saphius. You know what I'm saying, and Morale's like, they must have been warned by the two Zanians. Yeah, it's a sick book. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, when you read the beginning of Volume 3, obviously, Aratat's all pissed off, and he knows. Yeah, they must have journeyed through the Gilead's Pass mountains. Obviously, he's pissed off. Yeah. That's why I wrote Imagine. My book is sick. Imagine applying it onto the screen. Please, Ivan, imagine applying it onto the screen. You have like a 20,000 divine army. They marched into Saphius, and Aratat's all pissed off because the Saphians exited the city. Yeah, Aratat's furious. Imagine applying onto the screen. He's a devil looking at a map. Because I'm looking at a map. This is Bird of the Rings. I know he's Bird of the Rings. Look at that sick movie, man. Yeah, man. So I'm gonna say I won't spoil the story for you. You're finally moving me the book, Volume 3, right? Yeah. 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 Well, I don't know. You bluffing, man. Is your whole book entertaining? Yes, guys. I'm not lying to you. What I'm showing you guys, my whole book is like that. It's constant entertainment. That's why when I release my book, there'll be a public embarrassment in the industry, obviously. Guys like Brad Sasson, George R. Martin, J.K. Rowling are gonna feel like total shit. Because even those guys are amazing authors. They didn't. When you read their books, they have boring chapters. Obviously, there's not one boring chapter in my book. All my chapters are entertaining reads. Obviously, they're all entertaining reads. Hence why they're gonna feel like shit when I read my book, obviously. Yeah, Ivan kept me way more hooked than fucking our books, man. There's something unique about his story. Yeah, it's this unique story, and he kept me more hooked. Yeah, I know. My book is a masterpiece. Yeah, man. Yeah, 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 man. I can't wait to play Roll Lithia live. I know, but yeah, I'm excited too. Man, did you really write that masterpiece on your own? Yeah, I did. Holy shit, your book was fucking sick, man. That was an amazing story, Ivan. I was so hooked reading your book, I know. You know what I'm saying? Vijay, what volume you like the best? I like volume 2 the best, Ivan. I love the whole thing with Lithia and the background. Or she might be like, no, I like volume 3. Volume 3 is when the story gets deep and powerful. I like volume 3. Yeah, volume 3 is when it gets dark. It's dark and deep, man. Yeah, that's why it's my favorite. You can argue volume 2 is better if you want. It just depends on... Yeah. Like, you can argue volume 3 is the most raw in terms of the dialogue. You can argue when you read it. But, I mean, you can also argue... But it's you have the big climaxes, and that's why the story gets deep and dark. That's why it's my favorite. But some fans might like volume 2 better. Or they might... But I don't know. Some fans... Oh, I like volume 3 the best. I like the whole thing when the story gets deep and dark. Yeah, volume 3 is when it gets deep and dark, man. The dark episode of Taki's life. I won't spoil the story for you. So share me read the book, yeah. You have the ancestors too, right? It gets deep and dark, yeah. That's why I wrote a masterpiece. Yeah, man. Yeah. So Taki's an arrogant, cocky prince, yes. When you read the first 2 volumes, volume 1, he's a cocky, arrogant prince. Volume 2, he's a cocky, arrogant prince. Like when he meets Lithia, you guys see how cocky he was. Like, roll some balls apart. And I was as the area, or you get out of your ass and enjoy me as your issue yourself to the 3 lovely ladies. Yeah, he's a cocky, arrogant prince. When he works for Eli, he's like, go away, I don't want to do chores. He's like, excuse me? Yeah, he's cocky. Then once he gets thrown in a dungeon, it humbles him, and he now has a bit more sympathy towards the Salvins, as you guys read in that passage with Cassius, obviously. He's like, Cassius, we can't just abandon people. He's like, no, I can't leave Lithia. He's like, you mean Eli's daughter? So he's already clarified your feelings, Tactics, for a long time. He's like, now sick, I know. Yeah, Tactics pretty much chose to save the Sapphics because of Lithia, right? He has an obsession with her. He's like, Cassius, I can't leave Lithia, man. And Cassie's like, Takis, forget about your feelings for Lithia. We don't have time for this. You're too important. We gotta get the fuck out of here. We're in Aratat's kingdom. This place is demonic. It's cursed. You know what I'm saying? The walls are dangerous. We gotta, me, you, that's the only serious part. We gotta get the fuck out of here. And Taki's like, we can't just abandon these people. He's like, fate brought us here. I'm now sick. I know fate brought us here. I believe we're here to save the people in the south of Aratat's grasp. He's like, cousin, think twice about what you're saying. Because Cassius knows the Northerners don't like the Southerners. That's why he thinks Takis is crazy. Takis, are you crazy? The Northerners don't like the Southerners, man. You really want to bring the Southerners to the North? That's where you get that huge dispute in Volume 3. You'll see what happens. It's funny. You'll see what happens when you read the book. I won't spoil the story for you. Yeah. Samsara? Yeah. You saw the Salvins die in the caverns. I won't spoil the story. You'll see what I mean when you look. I won't spoil the story for you, man. That's why my story is so powerful. It's a masterpiece. You have a huge exodus like Prince of Egypt, man. But he's like, yeah, I think something like Prince of Egypt, yeah, and they journey through the mountains of demons. Those are holy shit. Like, Maury, looking at a masterpiece like that. No, Peter. Looking at a masterpiece. This is Burning on the Rings. I know he's Burning on the Rings. That's an amazing movie. Yeah. Looking at a masterpiece, man. Hey, give me a second, guys. After this about to. We'll be back in a sec. Give me, you don't want to wait. Hope you guys on the show. guys. Sorry for the long wait. After this, I'm gonna go to the store, get my beer and smoke, so I'll enjoy the show with you guys. Yeah. Let's see. Wow, you're crazy. You think Zane's is better than Lord of the Rings. Well, I showed you guys sneak peeks of my book. And what book is more entertaining when you read it? Is Lord of the Rings more entertaining or Last of the Rings? Last of the Rings more entertaining. Yeah, my book is more entertaining than Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings has a much richer world building. Lord of the Rings world building is much richer than my book because J.R.R. Tolkien has so many lands. He has a deeper history. His world building is so rich and in depth. But I think my world building is more unique than Lord of the Rings. But Lord of the Rings has a richer, deeper world building. Lord of the Rings world building is very, very deep. J.R.R. Tolkien has so many lands. He has a history of the elves and the language of the elves. It's so deep, deeper than my book, obviously. My story is more entertaining. It's a better story. And the world is more unique the world building, in my opinion, is more unique than Lord of the Rings. Nobody will ever be able to top the world building of Lord of the Rings. Even I can't top that. It's so deep and in depth. But the story of Zane's is better than Lord of the Rings, as you guys read, right? It's more interesting, obviously, when you read it. My book is more interesting to read when you read it, man. It's a masterpiece. Oh. It's a masterpiece, yeah, man. It's a masterpiece, my book, yeah. Ivan, please show us Volume 3. No, man. If I show you Volume 3, I'm gonna spoil the story for you, and you now know the spoil it. I'm gonna give you a big spoiler. Volume 3 is when you get the big twist. Hence why I didn't show you Volume 3. I don't want to spoil the story for you, man. That's when the story gets deep and dark and tackles his life. Hence why I won't spoil the story for you. You'll see when you read it. I want a masterpiece, yeah, man. A masterpiece I wrote, man. A masterpiece, yeah, man. A masterpiece I wrote. Yeah. Yeah. So the world was shocked. Yeah, I guarantee when you guys you started reading sneak peeks of my book, you guys were shocked. I was like, holy shit, there's something unique about Ivan's writing style. His characters up on the page, and his book's fucking entertaining. Yeah, my whole book is entertaining. That's why all the executives and Hollywood actors and the screenwriters and the directors, when they read it, says my book, holy shit, man, Ivan's book is entertaining. It's a fucking amazing book. Yeah, it's a masterpiece, man. My book's an amazing book, man. That's why it'll be the best movie choice ever made when I adapt it, right? Like, the best movie choice ever made. Yeah. It'll be out Lord of the Rings, guys. You'll see when I read my book. It'll be out Lord of the Rings, my book. It's a masterpiece. Yeah. I mean, how do you do it? Every time you write dog, your character on the page is a gift. I know how I do it. I just have the gift. I have the creative gift. That's why my book is so entertaining. It's a masterpiece. Yeah. Yeah. Hence why I guarantee you petting around the house and like Macmillan, Simon Chisholm, man, I wish Ivan can come work for us, man. He'd make us so much money. And he's fucking gifted. Yeah, he can tell an amazing story. Yeah. I'm gifted. I can write amazing books. I'm gifted, obviously. I have the gift from the heavens. Yeah. 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 Has Takis ever fought in battle before? No. Not until Takis' first battle is in Volume 3. But he's never fought in battle before. He's a skilled swordsman, but he doesn't have the experience of fighting in battle. Cassius and Maramus have the experience. Tacitonius has a bit more experience than Cassius because he fights for Fool and his Demon Wolves. But when Cassius and Tacitonius fight for Fool and his Demon Wolves in Volume 2, that's Tacitonius' first battle ever. He's never been outside the walls, whereas Cassius has the experience, and Tactius' first battle is in Volume 3. That's when you get the plot twist. I don't want to spoil the story for you. So I didn't read the book. I won't spoil the story for you. Yeah. So sorry. That's why Zane's is like a horror fantasy novel, because when you read Volume 3, it gets very dark. It's also pretty dark in Volume 1 and Volume 2 because you meet the wolves in Volume 1 and Volume 2. It's still pretty dark, but Volume 3 is when it gets very dark and kind of deep. That's why Zanus is a horror fantasy. I've been saying for years, Zanus is a horror fantasy novel, obviously. It's horror, obviously, right? When you read Volume 3, it's when it gets very dark and deep. Whereby Takis is an eye because he's facing double himself. I won't spoil the story for you. So I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah, man. How good your book? My book is so good that all these authors, like all the authors like George R. R. Martin, Brandon Sanderson, J.K. Rowling, they would love to collaborate with me. I wish I can collaborate with Ivan and write a book with him. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to have him rip me off. Well, if I collaborate with an author, I would do a thing where like the money I make off the book, I give them a piece of my royalties, but like I take the majority of the money. That's what I would do. But because me and those authors are different writers, it won't work. I'm not a fan of collaborating with another author because those authors have a different style of writing to the way I write. That's why I'll never collaborate with an author. I prefer to write the book on my own. I don't want them ruining my story, right? That's why I'll never collaborate with an author. But I'll love to collaborate with Ivan, man. And write a book with him. He's so fucking gifted and talented, I know. I don't need your help. I can write a book on my own. Don't hate me. Yeah. I'm sorry. Because some fans might tell me, Ivan, you should write more books. I'm like, no, guys. Your book Zanus was so good, I know. But I only wrote Zanus. I had no choice. The gatekeepers locked all doors on me. My dream is not being a famous author. I want to be a movie star, a famous movie star. I don't want to be an author. My dream is to be a movie star, not being an author. Being a movie star is much more fun than being a fucking author, right? Yeah. I'm sorry? Yeah. So that's why your stepbrother told you that. My stepbrother told me, Ivan, your book is #1, and Hollywood will love your story. And I heard my stepfather, he's like, how the heck can you come up with a story like that? Yeah, when they hacked my laptop and they read sections of my book, they were shocked. They were shocked. Holy shit, Ivan wrote a master's, man. This book is better than all these books, these fancy books that came out. Yeah, that you guys read a section of my book, right? Yeah, it's a master's book, man. It's an amazing story. You're constantly hooked when you read all 3 volumes. My story's entertaining, man. It's a masterpiece. Yeah, man. It's a masterpiece, yeah, man. My book is a masterpiece. Yeah, man. A masterpiece, yeah, man. Really, Ivan? Yeah, man. It's a masterpiece, my book. Amazing story. Really, Ivan? Yeah, man. It's a masterpiece, my book. It's an amazing story. Yeah. So Taki's not a Mary Sue, no. There's a lot of these fantasy books. They do a thing. They have the cliche plot whereby you have like a character who's a Mary Sue. You have the farmer boy who becomes a prince or some of that. He meets a girl. My book is the opposite. You have Taki as the prince of the north. He comes out to the south. He acts as a farmer. He gets thrown in a dungeon. He goes through trials and tribulations in his life. And then in Volume 3, it's a dark episode of his life where he's in agony. That's why Taki has an amazing character arc when you read my book. Amazing character arc when you read my book or my story, yeah. Samsara? Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah. Ivan, give us tips. How do you write an amazing novel? I told you, if you don't have the gift, you're going to have a tough time writing on fantasy. Fantasy is a very, very difficult. It's a very, very difficult genre to tackle now because you have to build a fantasy world and you have to make your characters in that world for real. It's very tough to write fantasy. If you don't have the gift, you're going to have a tough time writing on fantasy novel. That's the truth, man. I don't want to give you bullshit advice. Like, all these authors can tell you how to construct characters, but to construct those characters, you have to have the mind to do it, obviously, right? Yeah. That's why a lot of aspiring authors, they stay away from fantasy, because fantasy is very difficult to write. You have to create a fictional world, and you have to make your world feel real. The characters in that world feel real. It's very tough to write fantasy. Obviously. Did you struggle writing Zanus? No, I didn't. I wrote it with ease. I'm not lying to you guys. What I'm showing you guys, I wrote that with ease. I did not have any. I had a little bit of writer's block in some chapters, a little bit, but because I have a creative gift, I have the gift, I wrote Zanus with ease, man, with no problem, with no struggle. So I'm sorry, I wrote it no problem. Yeah, man, I wrote it with ease because I have the gift. Very unique. I wrote with ease too. I didn't struggle with that. Yeah, man, I have the heavenly gift. That's why my book is so entertaining, obviously. Yeah. 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 So people will study your writing, yes, obviously. All the people around the world who are aspiring authors are going to study the way I write, obviously, and all these authors in the entertainment industry are going to study my writing because Ivan, there's something about Ivan's writing that's so unique. He entertains the fans, but like they can study my writing all they want. They don't have to have the gift that I have. Hence, they can't write like I can't write, but they're going to try their best to study my writing. But because they don't have the gift like me, they what? They can't write the way I write. Don't make me understand, yeah. But people around the world, some of these authors are even going to study the way I write because I entertain the no author entertained the fans the way I did. Yeah, because I'm a creative genius. Yeah, man. Some of them might even study my style of writing. Yeah, yeah. That's how good my book is. Yeah. Ivan, you really think it'll be a public embarrassment? Well, you guys read sections of my book, and there's something about my writing that's unique, and it's more entertaining than these other novels. And so when I release my book, it'll be a public embarrassment in the entertainment industry, in the author world, right? All the authors are going to feel like, oh shit, yeah. There's something about Ivan's book that's more unique than ours. His story is so much more entertaining than our books. They all feel like shit, those authors. And those authors have help from the best publishers, the best editors in the business who edit their books. Bryan Sanderson, George R. Martin, J.K. Rowling, they had editors polish up their work. The best editors in the business polish up their books, obviously. Ivan did everything himself, and his book is better than our books. Yeah, because I have the heavenly gift. That's why my book is so entertaining. I have a gift from the heavens. That's why my book is so entertaining. Yeah, I wrote a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece, yeah, man. Yeah. So your story's powerful, yeah. You have a Tactius who leaves the walls of Xanus. He's an arrogant, cocky prince, obviously, and he gets thrown in a dungeon. He gets humbled, obviously, and then you have the X of Sapphis. And by the end of Volume 3, that arrogant, cocky prince is now more mature, and he's in deep agony, and his friends and family, some of his friends and family members are crying for him. That's why it's a masterpiece that I wrote, man. It's an amazing story. Yeah, it's the best fantasy novel ever written, man. It's a masterpiece, my book, man. You'll say when you read, guys, what a masterpiece. It's an amazing story. Yeah, man. It's a masterpiece, my book, man. Really, Ivan? Yeah, man, a masterpiece. My book is a masterpiece. Yeah, man. A masterpiece. You'll say when you read the book, guys, what a masterpiece. Yeah, man. Masterpiece. Yeah, man. My story is sick. It's amazing. That's why the gates will consider ban Ivan. I know how good your book is, but zero, man. Money's for me, BJ. It's not for you. Zero. You're not touching my money, man. The billions off the books for me, BJ. It's not for you. You have your twins, your mag. This money's mine. You're not touching it, man. Yeah, man. You won't let me touch your money. You kept me poor my whole life. I'm not gonna let you take my money and give me the peanuts while you have all those trillions in your bag. Are you crazy, man? No, man. I don't know, the 15 billion bucks off the books for me, BJ, is not for you. You're just a greedy pig. You want to control every dime of every money in the world because you're crazy, man. Yes, you do deserve to control the money in the world because you're the gatekeeper, but you don't deserve to control my money. Because you're not God, you didn't create this place. I'm bigger than you, man. You may be the god of the money system, but you're not the god of the universe. You did not create the universe. Me and VJ did, and you don't deserve to control my money, man. Ivan, we're the gatekeepers. Yeah, you may be the gate, but you're not God. You didn't create the universe. I did. I created this place. I'm the heir to the kingdom. You don't deserve to control me. We just money, man. This is my money. It's not yours. Zero, you're not touching it. I'm sorry, it's my money. Don't hate me in the sun, yeah. And I don't want to be, I'm not going to sell my soul to the Hollywood system and be a dirty slave and share with a garbage wife and have you stealing my money. You crazy, man? No way. My life would be destroyed, man. I don't want to share with the fucking world. I'm a fucking simple-minded guy. I'm not interested in fucking all the women in the world, man. You guys are fucking crazy people, man. Yeah, man. Oh, my God. Yeah. Yeah. Do they have a horse race? Yeah, they do. When you read the section that you read when Tactius and Macedonians were talking to the woman, honestly, he's like, when I was just a child, ale is not served. We're not bringing those age, cousin. We drank a drink of age. Juice, not ale. Yeah, right before that scene, they have the horse race in Xanus. I also have something called Horses X. You have a horse race in Xanus. Something fucking cool, yeah, when you read the book. The beginning of that chapter, they have a horse race, yeah. Pretty cool on Xanus. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I now understand why the gates want to control your brand. I now understand why your stepbrother told you your book's #1 and why your stepfather was shocked. Oh, how he comments about that. Yes. You guys understand why my book is a masterpiece. Every time I show you a sneak peeks of my book, you're impressed, right? Yeah, I'm hooked. Yeah, my whole book is a constant hook. You're entertained, man. It's a masterpiece. It's a book worth billions. That's why the gatekeepers want to control my brand. But they're not touching my money. I have the keys. I have to sell to you, man. This is my money. It's not yours. Obviously. If you think 1 second I'm going to let you take my money when you have all that money in your bank, you're crazy, man. After what you're going through my life, and you won't let me touch your money. You all of a sudden want to touch my money. You're fucking selfish and you're greedy, man. Yeah. You said zero to me making money as a world. This is my money. Zero to you too. You're not touching my money, man. I have the keys. I have to sell to you, man. This is my blaze. It's not yours. Sarah? Yeah. God gave you the keys, Ivan. Now we have to sell the gates, man. This is your money. You wrote your masterpiece. This is you and VJ's money. It's not the gatekeeper's money. They have their own money. They make their trillions every year. This money's for you and VJ. They're just greedy pigs. They're greedy psychopaths. I'm sorry. Yeah, they're greedy animals. The gates. Crazy people. Yeah. Sarah? How much are you gonna make off your book, Ivan? 10 to 14 to 20 million off the book. He's like, Ivan, how much money off your book? I don't know, I made $50 million. You made $50 million off your book? I'm like, yeah. She's like, holy shit, Ivan, that's a lot of money. I know. She's all shocked. Ivan, that's a lot of money. Ivan, we can live the life with that money. We can start our own films with that money. I know. We can start our own films with OVJ, and we can adapt the Zane's movie like Lord of the Rings. We can build that dream, I don't know, $600 million house, $650 million house, If I make 15 million, I'll put 650 million towards my house. Buy jets or yachts, or nice clothes, or cars, all that stuff. Yeah. Desire. Amen. So Zane's would be like Lord of the Rings. Yeah, Zane's would be a movie like Lord of the Rings, except it's darker than Lord of the Rings. It'll be a rated R horror fantasy novel movie, whereas Lord of the Rings is PG-13. Where Zane's is not PG-13. Zane's is rated R. It's a horror fantasy novel. The rest of them are going to be devils and demons. That's why you're looking at a masterpiece, obviously. Well, you have nude in your movie, yes, but partial nudes. I'm going to tell Peter, I don't want full nudes like Game of Thrones. That's crazy. Have it partial nudes like Underworld Rise of the Vikings. I've toned it down. Yeah, we toned down the sex scenes where it's just partial nudes, not full nudes. Go watch Underworld Rise of the Viking when Victor's daughter and Lucian had sex, something like that. You don't really see they look naked, but you don't really see their parts. That way the actors are comfortable. I'm not a fan of having actors having full nudes in the movie. That's fucking crazy, obviously. But it's still a rated R movie. They're horrific devils every time them. It's a horror rated R movie. That's why I wrote a masterpiece. It's an amazing movie, yeah. So Zara. Yeah. Well, Zane has to be much better than Lord of the Rings. I'm not going to say much better, because Lord of the Rings is a masterpiece, but it'll be a better movie choice than Lord of the Rings. It's a deeper story. You have an Exodus, you have like John Boyega, Jiwon Su, they get captured, they're in Barak, and you have demon wolves. The demon wolves are all staring at them and they're laughing at them. You're looking at a fucking masterpiece, man. Please, you're looking at a masterpiece. This is better than my Lord of the Rings. I don't think it's better than Lord of the Rings. You have the scene when we're behind the walls and Zanus, young Tactius, and you have the banquet hall scene when I'm talking to John Boyega. We're not wearing those days, cuz when we drank the juice of age. Juice, not Elliot. Looking at a sick movie, yeah. I know a drunkard when I see one. You're not under the influence yourself, Tactius. I am, but not like you. Tactius, I'm not a child anymore, you know what I'm saying? And I have some, business to attend to, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you want to go upstairs to my chambers? Sure. You know what I'm saying? And then you see John Boyega, he goes upstairs, he has sex with a woman. And the other chick is like, you want to go upstairs too? I'm like, not today, my lady. I guess Baramis is right. And she slaps me on the face. You are arrogant. It was nice talking to you too, harlot. Yeah, I know, it's funny, I know. Taki's an arrogant prince. That's why that chick slapped him on the face. I guess Baramis is right. You are arrogant. Yeah, he's arrogant, Taki. He's an arrogant prince. When you read that passage, right? Yeah. You have a lot of banquet hall celebrations when you read my book. You have a couple. You have a banquet hall celebration in Eli's house. You have a few banquet hall celebrations in you have a banquet hall celebration in Young Tactius, the prologue, and even when Tactius is older, yeah, a lot of parties and all that stuff. Yeah, when you read the book, obviously. Yeah. All right, now sick, darling, bring me a cup of wine. I like to make a toast to Zanus and to Tactius, who one day be king. To Tactius, to Zanus, they give a toast. All right, now sick, I know. My book is sick, man. Masterpiece. Amen. constant entertainment, man. It's an amazing book. So once you release the book, fans might come to you immediately. Some fans might come to me immediately. Ivan, Vijay, you guys gonna make a movie? And Vijay's like, yeah, we're starting on film studio. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, we are. We're gonna adapt the story. They're like, really? You're gonna adapt that story? Oh my god, I can't wait, man. You're looking at a masterpiece. I know. Once you read the book, you'll finally hit your mind. Yeah, if Ivan adapts this kind of story to the big screen, you're looking at the best movie children ever made. Yeah, the best movie children ever made, man. It'll be a masterpiece, man. A masterpiece. When you adapt the story, right? Looking at an amazing story when you read it, right? Yeah, a masterpiece, man. Yeah, man. Looking at a masterpiece. Really, Ivan, yeah, man. A masterpiece, man. Looking at a masterpiece, yeah, man. Almost done here, guys. Talk for an hour and a half. Yeah. So either Cassius and Tacitones the heirs? No, they're the only way to be the heir is if Tactius died, obviously, but they're not the heirs. I don't explain this in the book, obviously, but when you read the book, it's very clear they're part of the royal family. So Tacitones and Cassius are of the royal family, but they're not the heirs. Tactius is the heir because he comes from Tactius at first, but they're the royal family. They're related to Tactius, hence why they're part of the royal family. When you read the book, obviously, they're Tactius's half cousins. Half cousins, yeah, half cousins because Tactius the first. Yeah. Oh, Cassius, yeah, Cassius and Tacitones are Tactius's half cousins because they had their Tactius. The reason why I have them be half cousins because in order to have the story make sense, because Tactius comes from Tactius the first, that's the royal line. Hence why their brothers, like Furiel and Zeal, are Tactius the first's half brothers. They had different mothers. Or different fathers, I believe. I don't remember what I did. Yeah, Cassius and Tacitones are Tactius' half cousins. When you read the book, obviously. There's half cousins, right? Half cousins, yeah. But because they're Tactius' cousins, they're of the royal family, obviously. They're of the royal family. But they're not the heirs when you read the book, obviously, right? They're part of the royal family, but they're not the heirs. Tactius is the heir. He comes from Tactius the first. That's why he's the heir, obviously. Yeah. 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 Well, if it's serious, man, there's not one boring chapter in your book. No. I've read my book many times. All my chapters are entertaining chapters. You're not going to be bored for one chapter. Every chapter is entertaining. There are weaker chapters than others, obviously, but my whole book is constant entertainment. It's a masterpiece, man. Every chapter you read, you're hooked and you're entertained. You keep turning the pages. I wrote a masterpiece. My book is a masterpiece, man. It's a page turner. Yesterday night before I went to bed, I read a bit of volume 3, the beginning of Unexpected Journey. I was hooked reading it. It's fucking entertaining. Yeah, my book is a masterpiece, man. You just keep reading and turning the page. I wrote a masterpiece. It's an amazing book. Yeah, man. It's a masterpiece, my book, man. You'll see it when you read it. Yeah, man. I wrote a masterpiece. That's why Zane's is the best facts novel written. And it'll be the best movie choice ever made. You guys assume when you read my book, man. I wrote a masterpiece, man. An amazing story. My book is a masterpiece. Yeah, man. A masterpiece. It's an amazing story, my book. Anyways, guys, here's where I talk for now 3 minutes. That's good enough. I hope you guys enjoy the show. Stay tuned. I'll make a video tomorrow. Or I might make a video maybe later on tonight. This is Admiral. I'm signing out. Peace. I hope you guys enjoy this morning show, this noon show. Peace out, guys. Don't hate, you know what I'm saying? Peace out.